Hey, what's going on, everybody? Max here with BB, and today for 10 Minutes Max, we're going to be doing just a general market recap, all right? I don't have one thing I want to talk about in specific. I have a few things that I want to talk about. We're coming to the end of Q1, and I think it would be nice to just set the stage a little bit for Q2. We're getting some more local volatility. What's new? It's been the same story the past couple weeks. Before we dive into the charts, do me a solid and please like the video. And also subscribe if you are new here. Just a quick reminder that we do these 10-minute videos every single day. And the segment is called 10 Minutes Max, where we deliver you all of your daily alpha in under 10 minutes. So here's Pepe, guys. I understand that, this is not fun to hold through, right? This was super, super fun right here. This has been not fun. Okay. Every time we move up locally, everybody gets really excited and then it's over, and then excited locally and then it's over. Understand, like, just because the market is in my opinion, a reaccumulation period right now, pause doesn't mean that it's time to ditch the game plan. Okay. It doesn't mean scrap everything, sell everything. It just means that we went up a lot in a short period of time, and now we're pausing, and then we're most likely going to go up again. And not to make this all about Pepe, right? It's just that, Pepe's been a trade we've been quite focused on here. I mean, this looks incredibly strong. Like, let's even go to the 2-week, right? Like this looks really, this looks really, really fantastic. Like, if we're just looking at this was the previous all-time high kind of supply region. We busted through it, and now we're just paused up here. It's literally that simple. We're just sitting up here. Our entry still is way down here, and even if you bought up here, I still think that you're going to have plenty of time to make some good money. It's important to just zoom out, which is actually what we're going to do next. So, well, this is Doge, Pepe. We could talk about this. Doge has been extremely strong recently. I'll just quickly touch on this, right? So Doge has been moving up aggressively. It's at 18.5 cents. Obviously, Pepe's just kind of been chopping, right? Not doing a whole lot, just moving sideways. That's all it's been doing. And everybody's been getting destroyed trying to trade it. Me as a holder, a lot of you guys as holders, we've been cool and collected. But this is just Pepe Doge, right? I think we're maybe coming into something like this here, where Doge has been outperforming Pepe. Just a quick reminder. Market goes down like this. That means that Doge is a better hold than Pepe, where on the other side of it, it does something like this. That means that Pepe's outperforming Doge. I think we're doing a similar reaccumulation to the one that we did in early Q1. We're just setting the stage. Doge is leading again by a little bit. We're seeing Pepe Doge bleed just like we did over here in February of this year. And I put this fractal on here just as a loose guide. You could remove it too and just kind of see where, we're just kind of reaccumulating. Like, we'll see where it bottoms, but I think we're getting pretty close to a bottom in this pair. And of course, we root for Doge because, if Doge is doing well and Doge is going up and the Pepe Doge pair is reaccumulating, that means that eventually when this finds support, and I think we're pretty close, that means that we're going to start marking up. Doge will go to 30, 40, 50 cents, and Pepe is going to pull another 3 to 5x. Let's let's keep it moving and actually look at this chart. So I want to talk about some similarities I'm seeing. I haven't tweeted this out. Maybe I could have. I'm trying to get more people that just tune into the videos and whatever. But history never repeats perfectly, but in the cliche way of the expression goes, it often rhymes, right? It often rhymes. How inspirational. So we have Pepe over here on the left after its first markup phase. And on the right, we have Doge. Some interesting similarities, right? Like, both just kind of flagging a little bit, whatever you want to call it. I'll fix this just a little bit. So both just kind of doing like a little bull flag. And this was right after the initial markup phase. Like, let's put it in log just so you can see it. This was Doge last cycle. It marks up out of the accumulation phase. Very, very similar thing to Pepe. And then we'll zoom back in. Just wanted to show you that this is kind of the equivalent of where we're at. Okay. So we will zoom back in now and look at this. And, we did delete a zero for a little bit. But obviously we have since begun our reaccumulation, which, by the way, is bullish. Like, if we're just kind of reaccumulating, it's actually a very good thing for the market to just like reaccumulate and hold support. But what I noticed here about Doge specifically is, like, while it was reaccumulating, For one, we had this similar sort of deviation up here. This one was, I love the guy, but more or less caused by Hasaka. Like when we were right down here, he said basically time to delete a zero. So market got a little excited. He's got a lot of followers. He's a great trader. Deviation went back down. I think Elon tweeted up here. I'm not for sure, but either way, like the whatever caused it, it doesn't really matter. Like we see this pattern play over and over and over again. So what could I see from right here? We've kind of taken our 1, 2, 3 stabs up, 1, 2, 3 stabs up. It wouldn't surprise me, to see us, just kind of move sideways and then, move down. And then when we get to the end of this, after the first week of April, do something like this and just start moving up. So, I have pretty high conviction that the whole market, is about to start moving up here very soon. We're just in a cool off period. But just to provide some context, like this is price action that is familiar. We've seen it before. Um, and it really shouldn't be discouraging, right? as long as we as long as we maintain market structure and this level holds, it's fine. Everything's totally fine. For those that are in Caspa, I can understand you might be feeling a little bit frustrated, right? I'm in Caspa. I was aggressively buying it, every time we were down in this region. Had a nice pop off of this level, and we've since, kind of retraced, and now we're just chilling out here. But I've seen a lot of people, very, very frustrated with Caspa and its performance. And, to them, I just say, look, like we're maintaining market structure. Like it might not be the most pretty thing in the world, but this chart actually doesn't look bad to me. We had a big inefficiency, like this whole move that's marked in red was pretty thin, moved very, very quickly, came back, capitulated into it. And now when I look at the market, I say, all right, this is kind of your region. All right, this is your region, and I'll remove this and I'll remove this. This is your region, right? And this should effectively be, anything that happens under here should be your deviation zone. Okay. So if we revisit this area, like you just do not want to see this low get breached. Like you don't want to see this previous low, all this area get breached. But you can deviate into this region and it's bullish, okay? Because all of this was previous demand. Like think of this as a lot of buying, and we'll put this in. I'm just trying to simplify this, okay? Think of this as, we'll label it demand. We'll put this inside, we'll put this to the right. Okay. All of this was demand right here. And the reason we know that is because whatever happened in here caused this. Okay. So clearly there was much more buying than selling. We move up, we come back after a breakout, we retest previous demand. Maybe we retest it again, but ultimately this should serve as a launch pad and we should move higher, guys. This is not the time to give up on Caspa. It's not. And also, I put out some analysis as well showing how mid-cap altcoins typically get kind of brutalized during this phase of the cycle, right as Bitcoin is trying to break through the previous cycle all-time high, but is struggling a little bit. So what's happening with Caspa as a mid-cap altcoin is really not all that surprising to me. It's not. I've posted, plenty of videos on that. You can check my X account, done some comparisons, but this is not the time to give up on Caspa. This is like not even a price-based capitulation. This is an emotional capitulation right here. Like this is what it looks like, where you're actually doing pretty well. Like it's not bad. You're basically just coming back to to retest some of these highs right here, like on the monthly level. Monthly level here, and then we'll look at the weekly, like all these wicks. You're coming back in to retest like this mega demand zone right here, and people feel like they're losing all their money. I mean, they're acting like the chart, is literally down here. If we were down here, we'd have a problem. Okay. But we're just coming back to retest demand, and it's long and it's drawn out, and I get it, and it's frustrating, but if you can't handle it, then I guess sell. But I'm leaning into the data. And at this point, the data is dictating my decision making, and I think it looks ready to go. At least it doesn't look bad, right? Like you start losing these levels, okay, then we talk about it and we come up with a new plan. But right now, it's not the time to lose our heads. So let's look at Bitcoin here on the weekly time frame. I'll remove a TD sequential indicator. We are coming to the end of Q1, and yes, I know I'm over 10 minutes. I always do that. It should be more like 15 or 20 minutes max, but here we are. So, guys, not only do we have, a new quarter coming up in a few days, but we also have a monthly close, and we've had a pretty good March, and March historically is not great for risk assets. Um, but we've had a really strong Q1 as well. And I just want to get through the quarter. Like I've been telling our Discord community, um, I'm really not expecting a whole lot until we get a new quarterly open. And typically Q1 serves as a launch pad for the rest of the year. You get a bullish Q1, the rest of the year should be good. On top of that, in a few days, we obviously, like I mentioned, we get a new monthly candle, we get a new quarterly candle being the Q2 open. And we also, in 22 days, have the Bitcoin halving. So I have Bitcoin right here, and we're gonna put on these drawings that I've shown you guys before. If you're new here, maybe you haven't seen them. It would be right here. Okay. So it's the same thing every time, guys. Do you think it's a coincidence that, every single halving Bitcoin enters the purple region? What happens every single time Bitcoin has a halving? First, we get the blue zone. You walk up into it. And then after the halving, price goes crazy. And let's see how long it goes crazy for on average, right? So from a Bitcoin halving, this one right here, and we'll just put this in red just so you can see it. 371 days from that halving until the global top. Let's do it from this halving here, second one, 518 days. And let's go on to the next one. Here's the halving, global top, 546 days. And then from the first top, it was 350. So between 360 and kind of 500 seems like your interesting window there. So what would that imply if this time is no different? All right. So from this halving, 371 days, just do right here roughly. That would take us out into, Q2 of next year. And then if it's a full, just like the second and third Bitcoin halving that we had over 500 days, that would take us out into, even Q4 of 2025. So no one knows for sure, right? We only have a few data points, but what I do know is that less concerned with like the timing here, of how long we have left, because I just think it's a given. Like we've got some time left. I don't know if it's 90 days or 900 days. All right. But what I do know is that after the thick black lines that I have drawn vertically on this chart, when we have a Bitcoin halving, typically that's when the best returns happen, not just for Bitcoin, but for altcoins as well. And to show that, I'm going to put up others. Okay. So this chart here, others, is, let me put it in candles. This chart here, others, is the entire crypto asset class minus the top 10 cryptos by market cap. So this is all your mid cap alts. Let's look at what happens, when the black line hits, right? All right, let's take some measured moves. Bitcoin from the date of the halving, in 2016, went up 2,880% over 500 days. Altcoins, as an average, went up 19,900% in that same period of time. How about right here? 2020 halving, altcoins went up almost 3,000% in 500 days. Bitcoin went up 600% from the date of the halving, give or take, right? It's not exact. I'm on the weekly time frame. I'm just quickly doing it. But the point here is to illustrate, what typically happens after Bitcoin halving. So it's like, we're looking at a lot of this volatility and, some of our favorite names like, Pepe, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's, it just looks so heavy. And, I'm so scared. I don't want it to, I'm so afraid it's going to do this. What if it does this and it retraces this entire move? Well, I mean, first and foremost, guys, I hope that doesn't happen. Anything is possible. That is certainly not my base case based on the evidence that I've presented, and that the Bitcoin halving is next month, and typically that yields the best results not just for Bitcoin but for altcoins. Um, we talked about Doge, and we talked about the Pepe Doge pair and how Doge has been leading and looking strong, and Pepe Doge looks like it's bottoming. Um, what I think is most likely happening here is we're just reaccumulating, and you'll probably, you might get another test of this line down here, maybe, big maybe. I'm not doing anything here. I was holding a full stack up here, and I bought some more down here, like right around this region, and I'm just holding. And you're going to look back on this region here. Let me just go over here, and it's going to end up most likely looking something like this. All right, it's going to look like this, and you're going to do this. You're going to get chopped up. I'm so bullish here, and then you're going to get, nuked out of your position again, and then it's just going to go. And by the way, guys, this is like April 10th. This is like 2 weeks away. This little triangle that we have right here. Okay, so maybe we break the triangle, maybe we don't, but we don't have that much time. I know it feels like a long time. I'm with you guys. Like, I have a lot of money in these altcoins, in Bitcoin beta, and the whole thing. I got a lot of money riding on this. I'm right here with you. Like, you guys know I'm very transparent. Like, I tell you what I'm in. I tell you what I'm doing, thinking, feeling. Um, it's not fun, right? Like, you wake up and you get excited, and like it's green, and then like it turns around on you, and you're just like, what the heck, man? Like, just go up already. I know what's coming. It's unnatural to see and feel those big P&L swings, right? Like, the 10,000 for some of us, 100,000 to $1 million. I mean, some of you guys are $1 million P&Ls you'll hit me with, right? Oh man, I gave back $1 million in unrealized gains. I'm still holding. Do you think the market looks good? Yeah, man. I mean, I post analysis every day. I think the market looks great. I think that this looks like it always does right around here. Um, and it's meant to shake you out. I mean, the amount of people that I see, fumbling their bags, thinking that like the global top is in before a Bitcoin halving. It's a lot of people, guys. It's a lot of people. And I just don't want to see anybody sell too early, right? You can never go wrong taking profits, to be clear. But if you're going to sell, don't sell because there's local volatility, right? Sell because a high time frame thesis has become invalidated. Um, don't sell just because like the pressure is too much for you to take on the 4 hour time frame. Okay. It's probably going to continue until at a minimum, like the second week of April, maybe first or second week of April. But just get comfortable being uncomfortable. I've said that before. You need to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because you're holding altcoins as Bitcoin is trying to break above the previous cycle all-time high. This is what happens. More or less it. I just wanted to touch on, a lot of different things today, and recap the market. But do me a solid. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider helping us grow by liking the video. It really helps boost the content to a lot more people. Additionally, please consider subscribing to the channel if you are new here. This is 10 minutes max. We went double, but that's okay. Forgive me. This is 10 minutes max, brought to you by BB. I do these videos every single day, as I am here for you guys through this bull market. So last but not least, if you want a more intimate look and more access to me and the rest of the BB team, check out the first link in the description below, where you can join our Discord right now. And in less than 45 days, you will be given the BB Terminal, our new flagship product, for no additional cost, guys. For no additional cost. We've been working on it for months. It's cost a lot of time and money, and it will absolutely be a tool and a resource for our community, and hopefully everybody, because it's going to be a game changer. It is going to help you navigate these markets. And again, you are going to get it included in your Discord membership for no additional cost. A little bit about the Discord: we do 2 hours a day, actually more like 3 hours a day, of private live voice calls with the entire community and team, where we do Q&A. We share active positions in private channels that we have, and premium TA that we don't talk about here on YouTube or on X. So again, if you want a more intimate line to me and the rest of the Because Bitcoin team, plus to take your trading to the next level, we are the community for you. So guys, thanks so much for being here. Sorry I went 20 minutes. I hope you guys don't mind. I call it 10 minutes max. I try to stay around 10 minutes, guys, but I just have so much to say. But thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Take care.